Caring for a loved one who's losing autonomy can be stressful because your life just becomes one big to-do list. And you might be thinking that you should be able to do it all, but in this video I'm going to explain to you why it is necessarily stressful. Hi, I'm Sonia Weyers. I'm a certified Gestalt therapist, and in 2018 and 2019 I supported both my parents as they lost their autonomy and declined at the end of their lives. And today I want to support you who are doing this such important work of caring or supporting another human being who's losing their autonomy. There are several deep reasons why it's necessarily stressful when our parents are losing their autonomy or declining. The first one is that there's a reversal of role in there. Our parents cared for us when we were little, when we needed it, and now this shift, it really feels unnatural, and yet it's part of life. When my dad had his first surgery under general anesthesia, I had to go be with my mom because she couldn't stay alone. And my dad had shown me how to help her brush her teeth and put on her PJs and how to help her get in bed and kiss her goodnight and all these things that I might have done, for my children. So it definitely was unnatural. And if you're caring for a loved one who's not your parent, who's maybe a spouse, then there's also a shift in the relationship, right? And that also feels unnatural. So hit the like button if this is speaking to you so I know I'm connecting with you. The second reason why having a declining loved one is necessarily stressful is that for a lot of us it happens at a time that we already have plenty to be stressed about. So maybe you still have children at home, young children or teenagers. Maybe you're single, or maybe you're going through a divorce. Maybe you've got a demanding job. Maybe you're actually looking for a job. So there's plenty of things in life that causes stress before our loved ones start to decline. So having a loved one who starts to lose their autonomy or decline on top of all that can really be an added stress. So for example, when my parents started to lose their autonomy together, actually in parallel, we lived about 4 hours apart by car. And at that time, I had still 2 teenagers at home. I was divorced and I was an entrepreneur already. And so all these round trips from my house to theirs to go support, to be there when nobody else could be there, really cut into my ability to work. And so that was its own load of stress. Now, fortunately for me, I had some support from my ex-husband, both financially and logistically, but I know that for some of my clients and other people around me, and maybe for you too, it can put on a huge amount of stress to, in essence, have to choose between your work and your loved one. If you recognize yourself, put a yes in the comments so I can give you some support there. The third deep reason why it's stressful when a loved one declines or loses their autonomy is that it reduces the amount of time that we see, the time horizon that we see as having with them. And there we can have the possibility of regrets. You might or might not have time to do or say the things you wanted to do or say. Now, avoiding regrets is something that I've been interested in doing for a long time. And so I had a lot of habits already in place when my parents started declining. But I realized that the people around me, my friends, my clients, the people I bump into, don't necessarily have those habits. And so I've created, with you in mind, a guide with my best 3 keys to avoiding regrets with your declining loved one. If you're interested in that, you can find the link around this video. But before you read the guide, there's a preliminary step. And this step is to assess your level of satisfaction with your loved one. On the one hand, if the relationship is not satisfying, then maybe there's some distance that's come between you and them. And maybe you feel that's okay, that's how that is, and that you therefore won't have any regrets because the distance is already there. I'd like for you to reconsider that, because I've seen cases where the regrets are even worse in that case. On the other hand, if you're very satisfied with the relationship you have with your loved one, then that might increase the pressure to actually make the best of it, because you want to just enjoy it as long as you can. And so that increases the pressure, but it's a different kind of issue. And so you might be wondering how to relieve that stress. And in the next video, I'm going to show you 5 ways to do that. So click on the image that's on your screen and let's get started right away.